Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 23, Jordan, of Swiss Army Sports. Today is November 19th, not 18th, 19th, 2025.
We're killing these. Anything to do.
Made it yesterday, but 18th. It's been a long week at work. Episode 23, November 19th, 2025. Ignore the slides if you're watching on YouTube for whatever reason. I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Osprey Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side is my co-host, former offensive lineman for the Hendricks College Warriors, Luke Wallman, current man of electricity. Today is a preview and picks episode for college football and NFL this week, as well as college basketball. Got a little fun NFL blind ranking of MVP candidates, and we have our first ever Heisman rankings released. So let's get right into it. Again, the agenda, Week 13 picks for college football with our slate preview. Breakout players for Week 13, a little Heisman talk. Best college football bets following that. Full Week 12 NFL slate picks, along with our pre-Week 12 NFL power rankings, best NFL bets, and then our blind NFL MVP rankings, done by Luke. College basketball picks of the week, UFC Qatar, good for a UFC card this weekend. NBA look in at the standings, and then who's hot and who's not of the week, as we do on every weekday episode. Picks of the week. Some could say this is a monumental week in our pickups.
But there's not a whole lot of difference.
Not much, but just enough to move the needle. MIZZOU heads into Norman, Oklahoma to play the Sooners. Boomasuna. We all went with Oklahoma across the board. I think you're down to your third string quarterback. Yeah, they kind of scored a lot on Mississippi State last week. 2 pick sixes. State looked awful. Ahmad Hardy's still the real deal, but I think Oklahoma can defend the run decently enough to where the Sooners not only win this game, but also, man, Darnell Nurse with the second goal. Let's go. The Sooners can not only win this game, but also cover. I like Oklahoma pretty handily in this one. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, Mizzou has really struggled against quality opponents. They kind of have the same thing with Tennessee. They haven't beat a ranked opponent. They've beaten one team above 500. I mean, they've really struggled against good opponents. And outside of the Bama game, I think they played great against Bama, but you still have no quarterback. You can stop the run. I mean, Ahmad Hardy's not going to run for 300 yards again. So I think Oklahoma easily wins this by a touchdown plus.
I agree wholeheartedly. Our next matchup's a little bit more interesting. Formerly ranked Louisville heads into Dallas and plays SMU, Fort Worth specifically, I'm pretty sure. The producer went with Louisville here. We both went with SMU, and I think it's pretty simple. I think SMU is a solid football team, and I think Louisville is absolutely not the same football team without their starting running back carrying that offense. Give me SMU on or at home. And this is huge for the ACC title race, too. And this puts SMU right in the thick of it for being probably the second team that gets in. So what's your analysis on this game?
Oh, I think this is a must-win for SMU. The only thing that does worry me about this game is Jeff Brom. If you look at his coaching career as he's been OC or head coach, he loves to play spoiler. He loves to beat, usually it's top 10 teams, but he loves to play spoiler. And he did it at Purdue when he was the OC. He beat Miami in that week, week 6 or 7, that week matchup. So that's the only thing that worries me. But Louisville's been on the downside. They've lost to Cal, and he just lost to, oh my gosh, who did they just lose to? Clemson. Thank you. I think they're on the down slope. Miller Moss has not been playing as well, so give me SMU. Get the win.
I like it. Next up, we've got USC and Oregon at the game day matchup. Would have rather seen it be in our last matchup, but whatever. We went Oregon across the board, and I feel like this is honestly going to be a closer game than people anticipate. Not comfortable at all betting on Oregon in this game, but I think, Dante Moore is going to do enough at quarterback for Oregon. And I think it really is going to come down to, I don't think Jaden Maeva is going to perform well against his Oregon defense at all. And I think Oregon's really going to be able to handle both line of scrimmages, both on offense and defense. And that's going to kind of be the telltale sign and who's going to win this game. We're going to find out who wins this game in the first quarter with how the line of scrimmages are able to, manage possession of the line of scrimmage. Are we getting pushback from the defensive line of Oregon? Is USC's offensive line holding their own and vice versa? I think that battle's going to go to Oregon, and so I like the Ducks here. What do you think?
I like the Ducks, but I think this is your classic Pac-12 shootout. I think they're both quarterbacks are going to throw for 300 plus. I mean, USC arguably has one of the best receivers in the country in Malachi Lemon, and I honestly think it's just going to be a shootout. I mean, I just think Oregon is going to get the stops when is needed. Because then again, I'm not trying to crap on Oregon. I think Oregon's a good football team. They also, outside of Indiana, have not really played a soul. Like, because I think they've kind of got the A&M schedule for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because Penn State was supposed to be good in Indiana, but they played nobody else. And this Oregon team is very untested. This worries me. The line is like, what, 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5. Way too much.
Way too much. But I like Oregon because this is a conference eliminator game.
Oh, 100% it is. I think a name to look out for would be Tatum, and I'm going to butcher this, Tuioti. Yeah, 44 linebacker for Oregon. He's got 5.5 sacks on the season. If he's able to get some pressure on Maeva, I think we're going to see him struggle in the pocket, and Oregon's defense to be able to capitalize on that. So that's why I do like the Ducks. Another interesting ACC matchup. This is honestly kind of a dull week of college football, unless like you're a sicko like us, and we want to see who crashes and burns in the ACC.
I know.
Pitt's heading to Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia. We surprisingly, in my opinion, all went Georgia Tech across the board. I think it comes down to 2 words: Haynes King.
Yes, that is my complete thought process. I again think this is going to be a shootout. Georgia Tech's defense has proven that they cannot hold anybody. And Pitt's offense in ACC play has been extremely good because obviously Notre Dame is Notre Dame, but I mean, their freshman quarterback this year has been elite in the ACC play. And I think this is another shootout. I just think Hayes King, when it comes down to it, has that dog in him, is going to end up coming up clutch for this.
That's pretty much my thought process too. Pitt's absolutely to give this a 1-score game. I do think Georgia Tech wins by a touchdown. I don't think it's a 3-point spread. I think it's more like a 6 to 7 point spread. But yeah, I do think Georgia Tech does get the best here. However, the only thing that worries me, has Pitt been game planning for Georgia Tech for the past 2 weeks?
Probably.
Because the way their coach responded to that question about Notre Dame in their press conference, saying this game didn't really matter, I kind of think they've been game prepping for Georgia Tech. And if they really have been game prepping for Georgia Tech for 2 weeks, when Georgia Tech barely got past Boston College, maybe they're game prepping for Pitt. I don't know. Hard to tell. But Georgia Tech has definitely be a team that's like, wow, they may slip up again. That's what makes me a little bit worried about this. But I'm going to take the safe bet, go with the best player in the game, Haynes King, and just take Georgia Tech.
And the ACC is drunk this year. So
drunk. So Pitt's going to win this game.
I worry.
Weird game in the swamp. Tennessee's heading to Florida. If you look at the records, this shouldn't even be a conversation. Probably shouldn't be on our picks of the week. However, we all know this game's got some weird vibes to it, kind of like the Ole Miss Florida game did last weekend. However, this one's in the swamp at night. We went Tennessee across the board, and I think my main reasoning is I think after losing the chance to go to a bowl game, I think they're done.
Yeah.
However, if somehow this Florida's team is bought still in to the message that is portrayed to them in the locker room, they will win this football game. I just think they're bought out. That's why I went with Tennessee. I do not think Tennessee's good at all.
No.
Why did you go with the Vols?
Again, Tennessee, they kind of have something to play for just because you get a good bowl game. I mean, you don't want to like go to the Birmingham Bowl or something. You can still get a good bowl game.
And if they beat Vandy, you never know how things are going to shake out.
Yes. So, I mean, there could be some weird stuff this year. And so they still have to win this game. And Florida's just waiting for their next new head coach. I mean, they're just waiting for next year, realistically. But, again, I don't think Tennessee's that good. And my 7-5 or 6-6 record prediction, which I think we all had Tennessee at, would look beautiful if Florida won this game and they lost to Vandy next week. But I'm going to go with the Vols. I think they're not necessarily the better team, but they have something, like you said, to play for.
Huge matchup in the Big 12. Night game in Nippert. Let's get nippy and Nippert. BYU heads to Cincinnati, Ohio to play the Bearcats. I'll let you start. You and the producer went with the Stormin' Mormons and BYU. Why?
They beat Utah. Utah traveled to Cincinnati.
No, Cincinnati traveled to Utah.
Okay, still. They beat them 55-17. BYU, it is Texas Tech at the ceiling. BYU is probably way up here, and then I give Cincinnati like a good clicks below them than everybody else. I think BYU is a great football team. I think Bear Bachmeier is going to go into Cincinnati and win this football game because they still have playoff aspirations.
Absolutely, they do. They're one of the first two teams out.
Oh, wait, crap. They both have. I forgot because of the bye thing.
Yeah.
Playoff aspirations. But I think BYU wants to get revenge at Texas Tech, which I don't think will happen. But I think they do want that revenge. And I really just don't see them losing this game. I mean, Cincinnati lost to Arizona. And I think BYU beat Arizona. So
7-3, 5-2 in the Big 12. They win this game here. They are front runners to play Texas Tech in the conference title game. The better quarterback of these two teams is on Cincinnati. It is Brent Hornsby. This team is – here's the thing. I've got two angles on this, or three. Better quarterback. Two, I think they're too good of a team to lose 3 games in a row. I think this team is going to be hungry. They're going to be at home. It's a blackout at night. Cincinnati fans have been waiting for this. I called this game a couple weeks ago. I think Cincinnati won this game. It would also just cap off this college football season if this is what happened.
Yeah.
BYU, clear-cut number 2 in the Big 12. Drops a road game to Cincinnati. Put Cincinnati right back in the mix. Give me the Bearcats. This was kind of my reach pick. Trying to get an edge up on somebody at this table.
I do think also BYU's got the better defense, which will be interesting because I think –
Give me a little nippy magic, brother. I'm going with the Bearcats. Moving on. Our final game. And we usually do a little weird one for our final game, but this is not even a weird game. This is huge for CUSA title implications.
it is.
We have 2 CUSA juggernauts this season. In their first season in the FBS, Missouri State is heading also to Atlanta, Georgia, just like previously, as I said, to Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State is coming off a win against Jacksonville State on the road. Statement win. Or they lost, excuse me. It's coming off a loss to Jacksonville State on the road. They're hungry. Missouri State only beat UTEP by 14. Liberty's not good this year. They beat them by 4. FIU's not good. They beat them by 7. Missouri State's been one of those teams, those G5 teams that has like barely been getting by teams, but is good enough to get by. I like home field advantage here. That's basically all I went with. Give me Kennesaw State.
Yeah, no. I went with the old adage of I think 65% of home teams winning college football. And, I mean, I think Kennesaw is favored by like a touchdown. And
they are.
So
to get one back up on Michael.
No.
To make it interesting.
So, I mean, we get 2 back up on Michael.
If we get SMU and Kennesaw, it's starting to get
Electric.
It's starting to get a little weird. Yeah, so that concludes our picks segment. So who's going to pop off in Week 13? And I was thinking, man, how does Tennessee beat Florida in this game? Well, they've got the best receiver in the game, Chris Brazzell II. He is going to go off. I have a little prediction. I think he scores twice against that Florida defense. Brazzell has been one of the elite receivers this year in the NCAA, let alone the SEC. It's pretty much the only guy Joey Aguilar knows how to throw to except the defense. So I'm thinking he's going to pop off against Florida. Tennessee sucks, but this is like their one bright spot. You know, you've got a cast iron skillet, and it's all coated with grit and dirt, but you might have that one little clean spot where you keep laying, the meat. That's Chris Brazzell at pause. But, you get that one little bright spot. When your mirror fogs up, you get that one little spot that's clear. That's Chris Brazzell. The Vols suck. Who's your player who's going to pop up this week?
So I'm going with Kevin Jennings, the quarterback for SMU. Now, outside of their loss to Wake, he has played extremely well in all the ACC games. Against Stanford, threw for 250, 2 touchdowns. Clemson, 290, 2 touchdowns. Then Miami, 365 and a touchdown. And then against Boston College, 326 and 3 touchdowns. He has played extremely well this year in the ACC, and I think that continues against Louisville. He is going to throw for 300 yards plus. He's going to dominate this Louisville defense, and especially if they want to win this football game.
Man, Wake Forest ain't bad. Think about all the teams they've beaten.
Huh?
Wake Forest ain't bad. Think about all
I
the teams they've beaten.
No,
It's incredible.
but they've also dropped a bunch of stuff that they should not have lost.
No, absolutely. Excuse my language, dude. So add this. What any other sorry. Any other
I got you.
any other games on the slate this weekend that really pop out to you? Stand out.
Let's
G5.
Oh, hold on. Let Montana State.
Yes. We didn't talk about this. I almost threw this on the picks. Montana State absolutely should have been game day this week.
Yes.
It is the top two teams in the Big Sky for football. Huge playoff seeding implications. It is a very heated rivalry. They both play in outdoor stadiums in Montana.
Which is electric.
It's electric.
Also, another thing, you know what the most expensive ticket is this weekend?
I do not know.
Montana State, $300. It is the most.
Are you?
It is the most
serious
expensive ticket in the country, according to some Instagram thing that I saw. It is the most expensive ticket in the country. But
that's incredible.
I know. And then, what else? Houston TCU could be interesting. I think Houston wins, but TCU.
Oh, dude, that game is 100% interesting because Houston's ranked again.
Yeah, I know. And Hoover's a good quarterback, and when you have a good quarterback, you're in almost every one of these games.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I love that game as well. What else is there? I honestly want to see Arizona State, Colorado, because I know there's no Levitt. So, like,
okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Given they have no Levitt, and the committee has come out and said in previous years that they take injuries into consideration.
Yeah.
No Levitt. How? I don't get it. Like, how are we ranking Arizona State?
I have no idea. And I just want to throw this a little, compared to the AP poll, Arizona State is the 29th best team in the country in the AP. In the AP.
Well, you know how we feel about the AP.
No, I know, but like still.
No, I agree.
And like, I feel like you could have ranked JMU. You could have ranked North Texas. I mean, I would have still been in favor with maybe keeping like a Pitt over Arizona State. Because yes, they played Notre Dame and got trounced, but like,
and they did get trounced. But here's the thing. I guess it comes down to who would you have ranked in that spot?
How about SMU?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I would be 10 times more okay with them ranking SMU
because I mean I really don't get. Cause isn't there like receiver hurt too? Possibly.
Yes.
Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson's not healthy. Sam Levitt's done for the year.
I mean, it is.
It's starting not to make sense. I mean, and we had a change with the head of the committee this week. So it's starting not to make sense. You've got and the G5 currently going to Tulane is something we've also got to talk about.
I don't.
They obviously prioritize the American.
I don't think that's why. I think it's because they have wins over an average Duke team and then a solid Northwestern team, and JMU does not have an out-of-conference win. I think that's what's holding.
What do you mean they have out-of-conference wins? Just not against a Power 4 opponent.
No, I know. That's sorry. They don't have any.
I know what you're saying.
Good out-of-conference, and I think that's what's holding them back.
And maybe so, but I mean, we had Louisville ranked last week.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and they only lost by what, a touchdown or
they lost by 2 touchdowns. It was like week 2 at Louisville. Louisville was a healthy Louisville at that. They had their starting running back. I just it's so hard for me to put a team that lost to UTSA.
Yeah.
2-loss G5 team over a 9-1 JMU team. Nonetheless, it's all going to play out.
I'm interested to see because I don't know. It's going to be very interesting with how everything plays out because the American has been far better than anybody expected this year, I think.
Oh, 100%.
So you could still have some of these teams drop. Like Navy could go lose to Memphis this week for some reason, which would just like blow it up even
next week.
Sorry, next week,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I forgot that week. But like North Texas could lose to like Rice, who wants triple option, might give them some trouble.
Dude, Rice is so bad.
I mean,
No,
I know, but Rice almost beat UConn,
yeah.
who's like 8-2. So like, there's weird stuff in college football, and I'm not ruling it out, but we could see JMU get it.
Great filler time. Top 5 Heisman candidates going in now because Will forgot to do the animations. Anyway, Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
Also Fernando Mendoza for you. So, I mean, I think he's the clear-cut favorite.
Yeah.
He's led this Indiana team to 11-0. I think they're the best team in the country. Now, the committee does not reflect that. But I think Indiana is top to down the best team in the country. He's thrown.
I got you.
Yeah, please.
He's got 2,640 passing yards, 216 on the ground, but he has 35 total touchdowns. The next closest guy has 25, I think, or like 28. Yeah, Marcel Reed has 28. He's got 7 more touchdowns, and he's probably played a lot less football because they blow the crap out of people.
No, yeah. I mean, he was on the bench last week.
Yes. So he is not playing full games, and he is still playing much better than some of these guys that are playing full-on games.
No, 100%.
I mean, it's just I think it's a clear cut, and I think I don't think it's a weak. I think it's a weirder Heisman year this year, just because it's not like the powerful Genty or like I guess Hunter. I still don't think he should have won that last year. But that's another story for another time. But
fair enough. All right. Up next, my second contender is Diego Pavia. Not only is he thrown for 2,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, and only has 5 picks. He has also rushed for 7 touchdowns and 613 yards this year. He has led Vanderbilt to an unbelievable 8-2 season so far. This is Vanderbilt. And I think the Heisman candidate has to be your most valuable player in college football. It is the NFL MVP, but in college football. Diego Pavia may be the most well-rounded quarterback in college football. And this is typically a quarterback award. So I'm giving the 2 spot to Pavia. I do think who I personally would have win the Heisman is not come up on my list yet.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But this is just who I, kind of with what I think and what I would have. I'd have Pavia at 2. You're going with Sam.
I am, and this pains me, but if he breaks the completion percentage record, which my only knock on him, they haven't played anybody, and it's just outside of Texas, which he didn't play well at all in. But he's completing passes at an 8% clip, which would be the record, which is also 3 percentage points ahead of second place, who is like Bo Nix. So, I mean, I think that in itself is insane. Like 80% completion, 80% on anything. Like if you're catching balls at 80% rate, if you're, I'm trying to think of other things. If you're tackling on 80% of your plays, like that's an absurd number. If you're completing a pass 80% of your plays and you lead the number 1 team in the country, I think that's why. That's the only reason he's 2. If they lose to Michigan, though, he won't be in New York.
Wow.
Because he will not complete, his completion percentage will drop. That's like the only reason I think he's up here.
Yeah, he has an insane completion percentage, but I have him. I don't have him this high. Next up, all right, there he goes. You have Diego Pavia. I'll let you touch on that.
No,
why do you think Diego Pavia is great, other than what I just said?
So, no, I completely agree. He's hauling this Vandy team on his back, and I think he'll be there in New York. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because I think, honestly, I'd have him over Sayin, but I think, like, finish-wise, Sayin will probably
finish ahead of him.
So, I mean, I'd love for Pavia to be there, but that's why he's my 3.
All right, let me talk to you about Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
54 solo tackles, 43 assists, which totals to 97 tackles, 1 sack, and 6 pass deflections as a linebacker with 4 picks, 7 forced fumbles,
Yeah.
2 fumble recoveries, and a fumble touchdown.
And he rushed for a touchdown last week.
This dude is by far the most electric defender in college football we have seen in at least the last 5 years. Since Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
He is by far the best defensive player in the country. And I think he is overall the best athlete out of this list.
Yes.
It's just not a defensive player award, which sucks because it should be for like I said, your most valuable player. Texas Tech's most valuable player is absolutely Jacob Rodriguez. He is a force to be reckoned with on their defense in a league that defense typically isn't played in the Big 12. So Jacob Rodriguez absolutely deserves the Heisman, but he's third on my list just because I don't think the committee's going to see it the same way. Moving on. There you go.
Yep, and I got Jacob Rodriguez for your same reason. He's averaging a turnover a game. I mean, if you compare him to like the last, I saw defensive players, and Hunter's not a defensive player; he was offensive. But if you look at the last defensive players to win it or be up there with Hutchinson and Manti Te'o, and then they threw in Rod Woodson, it's an absurd comparison. He's got the tackles with Manti Te'o. He's got more picks, more forced fumbles. I think Manti Te'o's got more sacks and TFLs, but like he's right there rivaling with him in the stats. And I mean, the disrespect is crazy because if you go on most of these websites, he's not even top 5 anywhere.
Which is insane. It's criminally insane. We haven't seen defensive statistics like this in the Power 4 from one person. Yes. Again, since Manti Te'o.
And what I love is Joey McGuire is going to start putting him in on the goal line, possibly get him some touchdowns.
He is trying to get this dude the Heisman.
I know, and I love it. I'm here for it. But
I am too, dude. I have Marcel Reed at 4. We played against Marcel when he was at Montgomery Bell. 2,600 passing yards. He is an average completion percentage at 61.5. However, he has thrown for 22 touchdowns. Again, 8 picks kind of knocks him a little bit. But he has rushed for 391 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. I think the only reason he's on this list is because A&M hadn't lost yet. And if you're the quarterback for a team that hadn't lost yet in the SEC, no matter which SEC teams you're playing, you're still playing in the SEC. You're obviously a valuable player in college football. Kind of that's why he's thrown on here. Do I think he's the 4th best player in the country? No.
Yeah.
But do I think the committee will see him as such? Yeah. They lose to Texas, probably won't even go to New York. So moving on to the final, and there it is. Yeah, I mean, he's only on the list because of completion percentage in my mind, which is why I'm at the bottom. Anything to touch on, Marcel?
Yeah, I think he'd be higher up if the turnover issue was not.
It is 8 picks is not great.
So, and what's it called? Oh, I had one more stat for this.
Isn't QBR, is it? It's passer rating.
No, it's completion percentage.
61.5. It's very below average.
And like I think great athlete, insane athlete, but it's just like I would put Jeremiah Love ahead of him. But
100%.
Do I think they'll send him to New York unless A&M loses or like something out of these people happens? No, but I think Jeremiah Love should be on here. I almost left him off, but
no. I almost left Julian Sayin off for Jeremiah Love. Yeah. Julian Sayin, 2 words, check down merchant. All right. Moving on, our college football best bets for the week, and we both love it. Vandy minus 9.5 at home against Kentucky. Kentucky has been on a roll. I'll give them that. I just think Vandy is by and far the better team. I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns at least. Anything to touch on that?
This is a tune-up game for them too, so they're going to be trying to play well going into Tennessee. 10 points is lock of the week.
Lock of the week. I think Houston wins outright at home on senior night against TCU, so I'm going to take them minus 1.5. If you're going to win, you're typically going to win by at least 2. So I love the Cougs at this home spot. Senior night, in-state rival TCU, still technically playing for a Big 12 title game berth. So go Cougs, rolling with them at 1.5. Who do you like next?
I like UConn. They play No, that didn't work. They play FAU this week.
You got some code written up here.
I know. But they play FAU. It's at FAU, which is a little weird.
I'm pretty sure they have an agreement with the Americans ever since they went independent.
But I mean, I'm gonna keep riding this UConn train. 8-3. They covered last week when I bet on them, so I'm gonna keep riding it. FAU is not a very good football team, and they should have a nice little bounce back from last week when they struggled against Air Force. So.
Well, and they lost to Rice, so I think they struggle against the triple option. Yeah,
they do.
I like Oklahoma minus 7.5. I think they're just the better football team in this football game. I think Missouri just didn't have much to offer against Oklahoma, especially in Norman. Again, the half on 7.5 kind of scares me. Really wish it was at 6.5, but I think it's a pretty safe bet. I think Oklahoma's going to cover this line, and they're going to win by at least 10. So love the Sooners minus 7.5 against Mizzou. Who do you like?
I got Utah. They play Kansas State this weekend at home, and Utah typically just hammers any very average Big 12 team. I'm going to pull up some records just for some stats. They beat West Virginia by 30. They beat Arizona State by 30, beat Colorado by 50, beat Cincinnati by 30, beat Baylor by 30. I mean, they can.
It's a good spot.
I mean, they can easily win by 17.5. It's at home. I don't really know why this line is not bigger. I get Kansas State has been playing better, I guess, but
Yeah, we were on the hate Kansas State train for a while.
I know. And then, of course, I played them last week, and they only beat Oklahoma State by 3. So we're going to fade Kansas State this week.
Love it.
Got Utah.
I like JMU minus 13.5. Obviously playing for a lot here, and this could be a decent win for them against Washington State, kind of seen as like in between that P4, G5 category.
Yeah.
Washington State having to travel all the way out to Virginia to play this game. It's a cross-country road trip. You're giving me 2 touchdowns, not even 2 touchdowns. I'm absolutely hammering that. JMU has been obliterating teams recently, and I don't think Washington State's like much better than a, let's say, Old Dominion, and they absolutely railroaded Old Dominion. So I'm going to take JMU minus 13.5 at home. A little bit of a statement win for the Dukes here, especially after they saw they got left out of the playoff bracket and out of the rankings entirely in favor of Tulane.
I got BYU by 2.5. I think they win the football game. You typically win it by 3. So give me BYU.
And I think we're both on the same reasoning.
Yes.
I think Georgia Tech wins the football game. I'm going to take a minus 2.5,
Yeah.
and you're into the same.
Typically win by 3. So
there you go. I have Vandy minus 9.5 against Kentucky at home. Houston minus 1.5 against TCU at home. Oklahoma minus 7.5 at home against MIZZOU. JMU minus 13.5 at home against Wazoo. And Georgia Tech minus 2.5 at home against Pitt.
I've got Vandy Vandy at home minus 9.5 versus Kentucky. I got UConn on the road minus 7 versus FAU. Utah minus 17.5 versus Kansas State at home. BYU minus 2.5 on the road at Cincinnati, and then Georgia Tech at home minus 2.5 versus Pitt.
Week 12 of the NFL is here. We have some decent matchups this week, although we went chalk on a lot. We all 3 went the Bills against the Texans. I'm pretty sure this is just Davis Mills has run out of luck at some point, so I think the Bills are good enough to win this game. Are you in agreement there?
Yeah, they almost lost to the Titans last week, so give me the Bills.
The Vikings head to the Packers. Finally, no freaking international games this week. The Vikings head to the Packers with our first kickoff being at noon on Sunday. Gorgeous in Central Time. You and the producer like the Pack. Why do you like the Pack?
I just don't have enough faith in JJ. I'm being honest. I did see something kind of funny, though. Someone said the Vikings need to cut JJ McCarthy, label him a bust, then re-sign him so Kevin O'Connell could fix him. So, which I thought was kind of funny.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, I hope JJ's the best, but I'm going to go with the Packers.
Slightly humming here.
Yes.
1, I just don't think the Packers are good. 2, I don't think Jordan Love's 100% healthy. And they also have no Josh Jacobs. I think our defense will take care of us enough here to where J.J. McCarthy only has to score like 20 points and win this football game. Yeah. Now, granted, 9 has been horrible, but bounce back week for J.J. The Steelers pay a visit to Chicago and play the Bears. This is a weird freaking game. You and the producer on the Bears. Why?
I think Ben Johnson's a great coach. They have been rolling as of late. Defense is playing well. They actually have a competent offense for once as a Bears team. They got a lot to play for. They're what, 6-2?
7-3.
7-3. They got a lot to play for. They're in the hunt for the NFC North. I mean, they got to win this game, especially no Rodgers. I mean, Rudolph looked great last week, I think. But it's Mason Rudolph. He's probably going to call someone a word and get bashed in. So
Steelers. I think Rudolph looks better than Rodgers. So I kind of like what Rudolph's doing here with the Steelers. I think they needed a little bit of youth in that position. DK Metcalf is going to feast on this Bears secondary. I think he scores at least 1 touchdown. And this is just a gritty Steelers team. Hey, they've got to be on track for 9-8. This is one of those wins that gets them there.
Also, Darnell Washington. So,
oh my God, he is such a unit.
Did you see what he's reportedly weighing?
So he's recorded at 265. He is, I heard, around the 3 bill mark.
Yeah, he's apparently 311 pounds. Is what I've been seeing on the internet, and I'm like, holy wow! I would not want to tackle that man because honestly, that's like a goal line cheat code. Just kind of throw it up there and box him out.
Dude, just give him the ball.
Yeah,
Electric. We're all three on the pass against the Bengals, obvious reasons, as well as we're all three on the Lions against the Giants, obvious reasons. We're all three on the Seahawks against the Titans, obvious reasons. Me and you were the only sensibles ones. And the last time I said this, I ate my words.
Yeah.
We're the only sensible people in this room. The Chiefs are done after this week because they're going to lose to the Colts and they're going to lose to the Cowboys. They're not going to make the playoffs, which is electric to hear that in my eyes. This is going to be a shootout, a very high-scoring affair. Jonathan Taylor, and mark my words now, will score 3 touchdowns against KC. Give me the Colts. You also like Indy.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor honestly should have a case for the MVP this year, and he's going to prove why in this game against Kansas City by running all over them. Kansas City's just meh. I mean, their dynasty, I think it's just taking a dip. I think they'll be fine next year for some reason, but this is just like a dip year where they're not going to play well, and I think they can march in the Arrowhead and get this win.
We've all got the Ravens because the Jets. Look, I went with the Raiders here against the Browns. They're hosting the Browns. Y'all both went with the Browns. This is just on the stipulation that I think Shadur may play. Give me whoever he's playing. I do not care who it is. It could be St. Francis of Assisi middle school football.
Hey, don't do this.
I'm just saying against the Browns. Yeah, give me the Raiders. Why do you like Cleveland?
So I've seen there's this guy on Instagram who breaks down offensive line film from around the league, and he broke down I've seen the Raiders on there multiple times. My offensive line might block double teams at middle school level better than they do in the NFL. They can't block a soul. Myles Garrett might actually have 5 sacks this game, no joke. I think this game is literally going to be 6-3. The Raiders are not going to move the ball. The Browns aren't going to move the ball. We're going to get special team shenanigans.
Give me Dylan Carlson in that matchup, brother.
But I think the Browns are strictly just going to win this on defense, which I hate because the Shador glaze is going to go absolutely crazy next week.
Jaguars at the Cardinals. Me and the prediction on the Cardinals. I think Jacoby said has just been playing way too good. I don't think the Jaguars are that great, and I think their defense gives up a lot of points. I think Jacoby could go off here and get a win for the Cards. Why do you like the Jags?
I kind of have somewhat same track. Jacoby has been playing well. He's due. He's completely due to falter.
I think I'm totally going to start him in fantasy this week over Pat Mahomes. I'm so serious.
No, I would. I mean, that Colts defense is I think they're only good against the run, actually. Don't quote me on that. But I think he's due to falter. Jacksonville's really got to win this game. You're trying to get another step. The Texans are right on your tail for the AFC South. So I think Liam Collins going to get his boys up and ready for this Arizona game.
We are all three on the boys at home against the Eagles. I think our defense truly has turned a page. I think, yes, partially it was because the Raiders suck on the offensive line. However, we were kind of dominant in that football game on both sides of the ball. I mean, if you're calling the Jaguars competitive in the playoffs, it's from a media standpoint. I mean, we looked 5 times better than the Jaguars did against the Raiders in Las Vegas. Still kind of riding that wave from Marshawn Nealon. I think it's a very emotionally driven football team right now. And I think that's going to carry us in the next couple of weeks. And it's definitely going to carry us. So we hate Philadelphia. We're going to win this football game. We always split anyway.
Also, I was at this game last year.
And George Pickens is a freaking dog.
So I was at this game last year. I watched Overzone's tear about every single thing in his name. This is going to be a revenge game for Agent Zero. I think we win this football game. I think Dak's going to have a legacy game. Dak is going to show that I'm going to slide right back into the MVP conversation. I think he's 6 in yards. I think he's top 5 in touchdowns. He's going to slide right back in, and that's going to be great for my future.
Future.
But I do think we have a solid chance. I'm interested to see how our D-line does against a competent offensive line now.
I agree.
So, but give me the boys.
Falcons at Saints. Me and the person with the Falcons. Give me Kirk Thuggins, dude. And he's going to be a handoff merchant to Bijan Robinson. They're going to tear the Saints apart. Why do you like New Orleans?
Because of Kirk Cousins. And I'm also sure, Drake London might not play. And Kirk famously does not throw to Kyle Pitts. And I don't know why he doesn't throw to Kyle Pitts, but now Kyle Pitts is useless on the bench. but he does not throw to Kyle Pitts. And the Saints have to win one more game this year, and I think this is definitely the spot. It's an NFC South rivalry.
I mean, they don't have to win.
They don't, but they kind of do. I don't think they. I mean, I don't think they only have one. They only have one win, right?
Yes.
I don't think. I think the Jets are the worst team in the NFL, and they will beat.
Well, no, they have two. They beat the Panthers.
Crap, I forgot. And the Panthers just keep.
3-win team, huh?
I'm gonna go with 3-win team. I don't think this Falcons team is good at all. I mean, well, let me rephrase this. They are not good without Penix. With Penix, they're the best 3-7 or whatever they are team in the league. But without him, I don't think they're very good. Kirk's washed. The only reason he's there is because they have, I think, $47.5 million on the dead cap if they cut him, which is second in the league history to Russell Wilson, which is like $50 million. So
let's ride.
I think the Saints are going to end up just getting one out at home.
Buccaneers at the Rams in an electric Sunday night football game. The Bucs are so due is basically my line of reasoning here. I know the Rams are really good, but I think Baker Mayfield goes off on the team that gave him his second chance. Give me the Bucs. Why do you like the Rams?
I'm excited for this game. I really am. I think it's going to be a great football game, but I just got Stafford and the boys to just outscore. I think the Bucs, and that Rams offense is lethal. I think they're the best team in the NFL right now, and I think that continues with beating the Bucs, which kind of sucks for the Bucs because they just had a 4-week stretch.
They're gonna win the South, though.
I know.
So
well,
you think?
You would think, but I like the Rams in the spot at home.
And then Monday Night Football, the Panthers pay visit to San Francisco, play the 49ers. I made the pitch on the Niners. I don't know what to think about the Panthers. And I'm just going to go with Chris McCaffrey. This Niners offense is still electric. Defense ain't great, but the offense is electric. I think just outscore Carolina. Why do you like the Panthers?
I think the Panthers win the coin toss. I think they win the game. That is my reasoning. I mean, Bryce Young looked great last week. Again, this Niners team.
I mean, we didn't say it on the podcast. Can you tell the crowd about that coin toss stat?
The Panthers are 6-0 when they win the opening coin toss. They are 0-5 when they lose it. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit down there. I'm going to watch the coin toss, and then I'm going to bet. So
that's electric.
But honestly, the Panthers are the most confusing team.
They are the coin toss.
Yes, they are. So I just think they get it done. The Niners are due to fault at some point. I don't think they win out. They have 3 losses right now?
I believe so.
So I think they're a little worse than that. They just have the easiest schedule. I think the Panthers kind of get one on them. So
fair enough. Power rankings heading into week 12. We have a lot of similarities. Mm-hmm. My number one team is obviously the Rams. Offense is electric. Defense is great. Solid up and down. Beating good teams. But really, the win over the Seahawks last week kind of cemented this one spot for me. My 2 is the Colts. I think Daniel Jones is resurrected. I think Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL. I think the defense is good enough to where when their offense scores 38-40, unlike the Cowboys when we can still lose, back when we were all banged up, new Cowboys team, they will be in these power rankings soon. I think the Colts are true Super Bowl contenders in the AFC. 3, the Pats. Drake May just keeps winning. This team is electric, good on defense. Del Pettis really shining in their secondary. So, love the Pats at 3. 4, I'm not going to dock Seattle for losing on the road at LA in a gritty football game by 2. I think the Seattle team truly is up and down a solid football team with JSN. Charbonnet's the backup running back to Kenny Walker Jr. I mean, the second, excuse me. It's an elite 1-2 punch at running back. Defense, not Legion of Boom-esque, but I mean, getting to where they are almost in the good tier. I would say they're between average and good. So, I mean, this defense, especially up front, is elite for Seattle. I like them at 4. And then, unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, their defense has been unreal. Unreal. Offense is dormant, though. That's why I think it plays in favor of the Cowboys. But Eagles at 5. Talk to me.
So, Rams, obviously, I think they're the best team in the league. Like you said, Stafford and that offense are just super elite. Then I got the Colts at 2. I think Jonathan Taylor should be in the MVP conversation more than he is. I looked on DraftKings a little bit before. He is a minus 300 favorite to win Offensive Player of the Year, which is
that doesn't make any sense.
That's absurd. But then I got the Pats. Drake May's another one of those guys who's in the MVP conversation. shout out to Drake May's wife. If you go look at those videos and look at those comments, you know why the Pats are here. Look at the Broncos. If the Broncos had some more like quality wins where they were like beating people more handily, they'd be up here. You've won 7 football games in a row now. You're what, 9 and
They're so fraudulent. They're going to get bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
okay, sure. They've won 7 games in a row, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, schedule.
So okay, they've won 7 games in a row. Winning football games is
Oh, Nix is not good.
winning football games is winning football games. Bo Nix played great last week. He threw for almost 300 yards against the Chiefs. They ended up going and beating the Chiefs. I was the only one who called that. That's why the Broncos are at 4, and then yeah, I guess they're at 5 because they beat the Lions and some pass interference stuff. But I guess that's why they're 5. I'm not even going to mention their name. They're not worthy of my breath.
Facts. NFL best bets for this week in week 12. I like the Bills -6 against the Texans. I think it's a great spot for Buffalo, even though it's on the road. I think the Colts win outright, so I like them +3.5 for sure. Love the Lions -10. Cardinals +3. I think they win outright. And then, dude, give me the Cowboys money line against the Eagles +150. Free money. Luke, who do you like?
I love Seattle at the Tennessee Titans. They beat the crap out of everybody.
They do.
So
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Sam Darnold. I'm going to juice the crap out of my stats game, especially as the Titans suck. I got the Browns money line. I don't know why the Raiders are favored. I really don't.
It's not perfect timing.
That defense. I'm not relying on perfect timing. I'm relying on that defense to step up. So I like the Browns here. They got the Jags -3. I think it's in there. Yeah, it's at Arizona. I think they have a falter game with Brissett, and the Jags kind of capitalize on that. So, and then I like the Colts money line at Kansas City. Kind of worries me because it's in Arrowhead, but I think they'll be fine. Then finally, Jonathan Taylor, 2+ touchdowns at +220.
I love it. It's so free.
Which it's kind of wild. If you like go look at any other player for 2+ touchdowns, it's all like in the +700s. And then you just have Jonathan Taylor at +220. It's absurd.
It is absurd. He's a dog. I'm excited for this. NFL MVP blind ranking. There are 5 of the top 10 betting favorites in this list.
Okay.
You have to rank them 1 to 5 blindly.
Okay.
First, Daddy May.
We're starting with a banger. Man, I don't know. Because he's 1 or 2 for me. You know what? I'll throw him at 1.
Rank May at 1, starting off strong.
He is top 5 in passing yards, pass touchdowns, and this Pats team is very good with him. I'm going to go with 1. Let's hope that doesn't backfire. Nice, I didn't. All right, Stafford. Well, okay, I'm just going to go with 2. So that was my 1A, 1B. I think.
So really, Stafford at 2.
Yeah, Stafford's playing elite. Stafford.
Now this isn't what you think, or this is what you think, not what you think's going to happen from the MVP standpoint.
I don't think there are 2 people ahead of them, and that'll be on this list.
Okay.
Because Stafford's leading the league in touchdowns by a significant margin. He's got the Rams at 9 and 8 and whatever. They're playing well, so I got them. I got him at 2.
Well, you kind of cheated a little bit, but
yeah. I'm worried on who's going to be on here because I want to throw him at 5, but
May 1, excuse me, Stafford 2. Where's Mahomes?
I'm going to throw him at 4. I think wins are going to really hurt him, but I think you have someone worse on here. That is the only reason he's at 4. He would be at 5. I've got him at 4 strictly based off wins.
Okay.
Crap. I know I shot myself in the foot. He's 3. I'm really worried Jonathan Taylor is going to be on here, and he's going to be 5.
Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I set it up. I was making this. I was like, I'm going to put Jonathan Taylor last. He's going to screw it up at some point. Yeah. All right. So, Luke, and y'all hearing this, all right, TikTok, Luke's blind ranking NFL MVPs. 1, Drake May. 2, Matthew Stafford. 3, Josh Allen. 4, Patrick Mahomes. And 5th, Jonathan Taylor, who he was just slobbering all over.
I know.
30 seconds ago.
Okay, listen, you said out of the 10 betting favorites, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way you're going to include 3 of the betting favorites and then 4 of the top 5 and then just throw in Jonathan Taylor. I was like, you're going to throw in some random bum to make me look like an idiot. So, whatever. I'm happy with the sum of it, but whatever.
That's fun. College basketball. Okay, slate this week. Not bad, not great. most of the best games were like yesterday and today.
Yeah.
So we're starting out with what should be a gimme here. Memphis playing
Yeah.
Purdue, and yeah, they're gonna get hammered all on Purdue. Wisconsin against BYU. BYU's gonna hammer them all on BYU. Louisville, Cincinnati, good rivalry game, and I think it should be actually a tighter contest than most people think. But we're all Louisville here. I mean, they shoot the ball so well, play defense electrically. Any comments on that?
No, I think Mike Brown Jr. is one of the best
100%.
in the country, and I think he will lead this Louisville team very far.
Mississippi State plays Kansas State, and I'm surprised y'all both went with Kansas State. I think it's a good state team, and I don't think Kansas State is very good at all. So I'm going to take the free point here from y'all. I'm going to go with the dogs against Kansas State. Why do you like Kansas
I
State?
think this is actually a pretty solid Kansas State team compared to last year. I think PJ Haggerty will end up being, again, one of the best players in the country. I mean, he's already averaging 25 and 8. And outside of Hubbard, what, you looking at me like that? I mean, if he's
PJ
gonna
Haggerty.
continue to do it. He was an All-American last year. If he's going to continue to do that, he will be an All-American again this year. You can't deny it. All State has is Hubbard. So, like, if you look at it, no one else.
Give me Hub Daddy, go dogs.
I mean, all it takes for him to have one off night. So, I mean, then they're screwed. And I mean, I don't think they have a guy on that team that averages over 10 outside of him. Maybe there's one.
Yeah, I think our center does. But anyway,
So, yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Arizona State plays Hawaii, and obviously the producer doesn't know ball. He doesn't know ball
He does.
because the Rainbow Warriors are coming in hot.
And it's
Hot at Hawaii. It's free money. Bet Hawaii money line. Taking the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, and KenPom likes it too. Even though Arizona State, I think, is like 10 or some spots ahead of them, that travel is going to be brutal. And Hawaii almost beat Oregon. So, I mean, Oregon, I'm not going to say is like,
They travel to Oregon.
I mean, yeah, they went to Oregon and almost won. I'm not saying Oregon's like this powerhouse this year, but like they're not god awful.
No,
So-
they're not at all by any means.
But that's why I like Hawaii in the spot.
West Virginia against Clemson. Mainly the producer like the Tigers. I think they just shoot the three ball well. And I can't figure out this West Virginia team. They blew out Pitt, but I can't figure out Pitt because they got blown up by West Virginia, but blow up Bucknell, and Bucknell's a solid team in the Patriot League. It's so early. It's hard to figure some of these teams out. If I don't trust you, I'm not going to pick you. I kind of do trust Clemson. I think Georgetown is a solid basketball team, and they really hung in there with Georgetown, lost by 5. So I'm going to go with Clemson. Why you like WV?
Because I think they're going to slow the pace down. I've watched West Virginia a few times. They play good defense, and they slow the pace of the game down. And all it does is if Clemson doesn't come out and shoot the ball well, because they're going to go down 10 or so seconds going to go off the clock, they're going to chunk it. And if they don't shoot the ball well, they will struggle because West Virginia is going to eat that entire clock on the other end and play very good defense. I like the Mountaineers in this spot.
A little fun one. I think this is a little sicko matchup.
Oh, my God.
Georgia, Xavier. Y'all both went with Georgia. I want to hear why.
Xavier got blown out by Santa Clara at home. That's all I need to hear. Georgia at least like could beat Georgia Tech, who's like not good, but you're not getting blown out by Santa Clara at home. So that is my reason.
30-point win against Old Dominion last night for Xavier. Oh, they're turning a page. Look, new coach, a lot of transfers. They've got to learn how to play together. It's not street ball. Georgia has yet to play, I'm pretty sure, like a non-HBCU.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not good.
I know.
So, and that was a tightly contested game against Georgia Tech, who almost lost the team they beat by 40. And again,
I know, that makes no sense
Yeah.
at all.
so I think this could be a fun game. God, Stuart Skinner sucks. Yes, I've got Xavier in this one. UFC Guitar. It's an elite fight night. And I do have specific method of victories for my picks. Some of these names can be very hard for me to pronounce.
Crap, I'm on Qatar tourism.
Sergey Spivak, number 7 heavyweight, against Shamil Gaziev. Shamil 4-1, Spivak 17-6. Gaziev got an inch on the height, 9 pounds on the weight, and half an inch on the reach. He has won 64% of his fights by knockout. So I am actually just going to take Gaziev by knockout against Spivak, and he's going to move up in the heavyweight rankings. Who do you like?
I'm going to take Spivak. Strictly on the strikes landed per minute. I think I don't know enough to like predict knockout and all that crap, but I think he will end up landing more strikes. And then the grappling, I think he's going to probably try and take him to the ground a little bit. And I think he might be at least successful a few times in there, even though Gaez, say his name, please.
Kaziev.
Yes, thank you.
Which I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly.
Is good at take on defense, but give me Spivak.
Yeah. Next up, the Norwegian Jack Hermansen against the Kyrgyzstani Miktebek Oralby. 14-2-1. Hermansen 24-9 coming off a loss. Oralby by a win. Hermansen's got a 3-inch height advantage. Bless you.
It's all right.
3-inch height advantage. He's got a 2.5-inch reach advantage. And he's got a 7-inch leg reach advantage. Here's what stuck out to me. Oralby lands 0.416 strikes per minute.
Did you look at his average fight?
Yes.
Okay.
However, I just think Hermansen is able to hang into this one. He's got so much reach on Oralby. He's going to try to keep his distance. I think Oralby is going to tire himself out. I've got Hermansen by decision in this fight. 3 rounds, not a long fight. Hermansen by decision. Who do you like?
I've got Oralby.
Probably the correct pick.
So, because he's knocking people out at 55% clip, and his fight time is only 4.5 minutes. And I know that is short. So, I think he'll end up finishing him.
Fair enough. The next 3 fights are so electric. Volkan Ozdemir against Alonzo Menifield. Yeah. I got Menifield here by knockout. I think Menifield is just primed for a win, coming off a win. Volkan coming off a loss, 20-8. Menifield 17-5-1. Now, Volkan does have 2 inches on the height, but Menifield's got an inch on the reach. Both these guys one's going to win by knockout, in my opinion. I just like that Menifield absorbs less strikes. He also lands strikes at a higher percentage clip. So I'm going to go Menifield to catch Volkan lacking and win by knockout. Menifield by knockout. I'll go round 2.
I'm going to go Menifield. This dude looks jacked. Like this picture compared to this other dude, he looks jacked. So I like the knockout play, and I'm also going to roll with the American because America.
All right, next up is a welterweight bout between my least favorite fighter in the UFC, number 2, Bilal Muhammad, against number 6, Ian Machado Gary. I don't like Machado Gary either. I think Machado Gary pounds Bilal into the mat and wins by knockout TKO. It is going to be an absolute obliteration. 16-1 for Gary, 24-4 for Muhammad. I think Gary wins this one in dominant fashion by knockout. Who do you got?
If I would have seen he was from Palestine,
he's actually from Chicago.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes him even worse. But I've got Muhammad.
Most boring fighter of all time.
Yeah. He's got a higher defensive rate. I think he'll probably try and take it to the ground. Possibly. I at least look at the stats.
He will try to take it on the ground.
Okay. So he will try and take it on the ground. And I think he will end up just having ground control, take it to the decision, and end up winning in a boring way. So,
main event: Dan Hooker versus Arman Sarukian. Arman by knockout, first round. He is the closest thing to Ilia Topuria you can get in the lightweight division, other than Patty the Batty Pimblett. So, love Arman to take a step in the right direction here. Give Qatar what they want to see: a knockout finish in the first round. Give me Arman.
Yeah, I got Arman. He's the number 1 contender for a reason. So I think he's going to continue that dominance and end up winning this fight.
And that concludes our UFC Qatar picks and preview. So looking to the NBA, and we're just kind of looking at the standings here and talking about what sticks out this year. And I think what really stuck out to me in the Eastern Conference as we're starting out the East is, one, the Pacers are 1-13. They are freaking horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible with Tyrese Halliburton. 2, the Bucks kind of getting off so slow, started 8-7.
Giannis is also hurt.
Yeah. The Magic better than you thought, above 500 right now. But I think the team that really stands out to me about exceeding my expectations is the Miami Heat. I didn't think the Miami Heat were going to be good at all this year, but they are 8-6. They have really been shooting the ball well. Defense isn't really a thing in the NBA, so we can only talk about offense until it's the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Heat have been playing really well. And, dude, the Pistons. We both said the Pistons were going to the finals. They are unreal. Duran is unreal. Kate Cunningham is unreal. Yeah, the Pistons are elite for the East. Anything to comment on that?
Oh yeah, Duran's an absolute dude. He's averaging a double-double right now. Like, dude, if you go look on his like double-double betting odds, it's like minus 400. It's absurd. He had like a 20 and 20 game already this year. Yeah, the Raptors to me are kind of a shock at 9-5. I mean, I know
Oh yeah, 100%.
Brandon Ingram's playing very well. They have Scotty Barnes. They have pieces there. I just honestly didn't think they'd be very good. Their rookie from South Carolina.
Also, just love Scotty Barnes.
Of course he did. Colin Boyles or whatever his name is, power forward. He's played very well during this rookie campaign. And then the Heat, Norman Powell. I think he is a bucket, and that is the only reason there. And they have you seen they adopted a new system this year where they basically just like don't run plays and they just try and get up the court as fast as possible, which teams in the NBA still run plays.
Yeah.
But Spoelstra basically saw the Grizzlies from a few years ago with Taylor Jenkins adopted a philosophy after a Division III coach to not run the pick and roll and just to run and gun. Now, he just took this, Spoelstra did, and extremified it, and that is why they're winning games just by offense scoring. So
that's pretty late.
We'll tip it.
Nice. Western Conference, Thunder dominating as we expected at 14-1. What stands out to me is one, I think the Lakers look a lot better without LeBron than I expected, which looks great for my Lakers future. Two, the Phoenix freaking Suns are good, and they are really good. I'm going to put that out there. The Suns will not even be in the play-in. I take back what I said. I think we are a top 6 seed in the Western Conference, and the Memphis Grizzlies are ass. They are so bad. Just go ahead and give us John Morant. What do you have to say about the West?
We're not trading John Morant. We do suck. We have 5 guys who play significant minutes who are all hurt, which does suck. They need to fire Isola. He's an absolute idiot. He does hockey rotations.
Yeah, he literally does line changes, which is insane.
Absurd to me because when somebody's playing really well, he takes them out. And it's probably the most aggravating thing in the world. And, I mean, he's 1-15 against teams over 500 in his coaching career. So that's another thing, which is just great. But I kind of called the Jazz making the play-in. Lauri Markkanen is on an absolute tear. I think he's averaging like 40 over the past 5 games. He's an absolute dude. And Draymond Green actually said to the Warriors front office, do not trade for him. So he's getting a little heat online. And then Wemby absolutely sunning Draymond Green. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That was electric.
Dude, Wemby's an alien.
I hate Draymond Green. But, also, I want to Nikola Jokic. The dude is an absolute freak. He's leading the NBA in points and rebounds and assists. I mean, you seen the Tyronn Lue interview?
No, I didn't.
Oh, we're going to try and eliminate his passing. We're going to get a bunch of assists and stuff. Didn't really expect him to score 55. I mean, he should have been the MVP for 5 years in a row now. Last year, he should have beaten out Embiid. He's going to win it again this year. It is an absolute lock. He is playing like a madman. I mean, the plus minus, he's having the greatest season ever. It's like LeBron and Jordan are here. He's up here. It is absurd.
It's crazy how little the Nuggets can do without him.
I know. And like the thing is, people aren't comfortable about it. When he wins the MVP this year, he enters the top 5 players of all time conversation.
Yes, he does.
Are not going to be comfortable about talking. So, oh man.
Also, Cooper Flag getting good. All right.
I want to also say, you can't play him at point guard. You can't. He's got to play power forward or small forward.
I agree.
When you're playing point guard, that sets him up to fail. Since they moved him from point guard, he's played a little better. But like when you play him at the point guard, he's not playing well. Also, I wanted to comment on the Grizzlies rookie. Cedric Coward is the next Kawhi Leonard. I'm being so serious. He's an absolute dog. He should have been getting $3 million to go play at Duke this year. He's going to probably win the Rookie of the Year. I think he's first or second right now. He's averaging 15, 7, and he's shooting like over 50%.
A great trade piece.
He is. No, he's not getting traded. We're going to build around him. It's going to be okay.
Not to conclude our weekday recording. My hot is absolutely the frickin' Troy Trojans and hoops. Highest Ken Palm ranked win in team history.
Oh, geez.
San Diego State was number 29 in the Ken Palm. Troy got hit by a buzzer beater in regulation to half-court shot to send it into
Seriously?
overtime and still came out in top in 2 overtimes in the third game of a 4-game California trip, gutted out a win against San Diego State. USC, you were absolutely next. And for my not work meetings, I had to get my crown fixed yesterday around 3:40. So I got out about 5, had a work meeting at 5:30, drove 25 minutes, showed up barely on time for a 20-minute absolute waste of my time work meeting. I was absolutely pissed because I live nowhere close to my place of work. It's like 25 minutes at the minimum. So I was kind of pissed about that. I was like, and to be fair, partially my own fault. I was told I didn't have to come, but I came anyway because great employee. But work meetings freaking suck. What's your hot nut?
So my hot is DraftKings. Now, if any of y'all use DraftKings, you need to do the free play stuff because it literally all you do is you go to the free play section and there's a football one and there's a basketball one. And for football, it gives you 7 players. So you do one every day. And if they score a touchdown, if you get like no touchdowns, you get a 5% boost, 10% boost, 25, so on and so forth. And if you end up having all 7 guys score a touchdown, you end up getting part of a $25,000 prize. Now, the NBA has the same thing where they have to score 15. I won that, or was one of the winners this week. So I have a $68 bonus bet.
Parlay.
Bonus bet for this weekend, this week, whatever I want to use it for. I almost took Arizona, who was up 9 right now. I wanted to, but I was like, it's in the Northeast. I'm not going to do it. But anyways, do it, the free plays, if you use DraftKings. And it might not. We're going to do women's sports, specifically women's hoops. Notre Dame's got a chick. Let me see if I can find. No, I think it's. Nope. All right, I'm not going to search. Notre Dame's got a chick. They lost to Michigan by 30.
Son, that is 39.
Oh, that is 39. They have their best player shot like 2 of, I think, 20 on the game or something, and then ended up having 7 turnovers. And then Pittsburgh's team lost to a D3. Now, granted, D3 was second in the country in D3. I did look this up,
but still, it's
D3.
Division 3.
It's D3. That is literally like a middle school team going and beating a high school.
The epitome of brutality.
It is, and I mean the fact that we're losing a bye game to Scranton, not the paper company, but Scranton.
Yeah, Penn State Scranton came in and beat Pitt, which is insane.
It's absurd. I mean, Pitt had their bounce back against Cornell, a 2-point win, but you lost to Scranton. And that is my not. You can't lose to D3 schools. It is astronomically insane that happened at the women's level. I think that's probably the biggest upset in college basketball history.
It very well could be. Honorary not Stuart Skinner. And that'll conclude our episode 23 of Swiss Army Sports. Tune in on Sunday, or well, it'll be out on Monday, but our Sunday recording when we recap this weekend in sports. Everybody, have a good night. Stay safe.
Bye.